the chosen one. Your powers have been awakened, and nothing will ever be the same again. You are experiencing an inward transformation that cannot be denied. A long overdue force waking. What you're experiencing isn't a coincidence. What you're seeing around you. Signs, confirmations, and energy bursts. This is your spiritual awakening in action. You've passed an unseen boundary, and the old version of yourself has vanished. And the true you, the powerful you, finally emerged. This is when your fate catches up with you. It's occurring now. Not next week, sometime, or later. The moment has here, and you are being propelled into the next level. This is a time of heavenly activation. If you are here right now, listening to these words, this message is intended for you. This is confirmation, heavenly push, or a whisper from the cosmos that something exceptional is happening. The power of the spoken word, faith, and divine timing are all working together to your advantage. That is why you must watch till the finish of the video. There is energy here, a force at work, and by being present and allowing these words to penetrate your heart, you are bringing yourself into sync with what is already inside you. I want you to write your fondest wishes. And number 777 in the comments section. Allow the universe to sense your enthusiasm, thankfulness, and eagerness to accept your chosen one. I like this video. Subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe and let's get started. Everything in your life has led to this point. Delays, disappointments, solitude, and testing. They were all part of the divine process that prepared you for what you are about to embark on. And now that your power is awakened, the whole world is working in your favor. You are no longer waiting for the proper time since it has arrived. You are no longer looking for anything to change. You are the change. This is why you are being asked to be present and attentive. Every minute from this point on is precious. Every breath, choice, and idea holds fresh significance. Because your activation in power is not arbitrary. It is strategic. Your words, concentration, and energy have the ability to create, heal, transform environments, and attract blessings with lightning speed. Wishes are becoming true. Your enlightenment energizes the whole cosmos. You are living evidence that when people choose alignment over fear, the impossible becomes a reality. You are no longer merely a person who prays for miracles. You are someone who causes miracles. You are not merely someone who wishes to be free. You are someone whose presence empowers others. The more you walk in your awakened power, the brighter your spiritual light will become. People can't exactly define it, but they know it when you come into a room. The vibration you carry today disrupts stagnation. The things you say now cut through hesitation. You have become a conduit for divine acceleration. And doors that were formerly locked are suddenly swinging wide open. You aren't aiming to be picked. You were picked. And your activation was heaven's affirmation. The strength inside you is not ego. It's not arrogance. It's not something you took or coerced. It is something you earned with every tear you shed in secret. Every time you stood after being pushed down, every time you held on to your faith despite the fact that it made no sense to you, you did not give up. Even when you're surrounded by stillness, you never stop believing. Even when everything shouted for you to submit. And now the prize for your perseverance has arrived in the shape of power. Pure, sublime, and unmistakable strength. It may seem weird at first since you're using a higher frequency. Old patterns no longer fit your vibe. Old discussions deplete you. Old surroundings felt overly cramped. That is because you have outgrown your previous self. And now your soul is venturing into unknown territories. Don't oppose this expansion. Don't dim your brightness to make others feel better. Do not shrink so that others may feel taller. Let us promote faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into our own lives but also to others in need. Your donation provides a source of inspiration and healing for many individuals. Recognize that your strength represents spiritual money. It cannot be stolen or diluted. It develops stronger as you become more connected with your goal. This is why distractions are becoming more prevalent. That is why spiritual warfare has increased around you recently, since your adversary is aware that something is occurring in you that they cannot undo. You're getting too aware, vigilant, and perceptive. You see through the trickery. You can sense the energy instantaneously. You can detect intentions before they are uttered. You have become miraculously perceptive, and it is what makes you unstoppable right now. Your power extends beyond strong movements and loud assertions. It is also in your quietness. Your strength is in the tranquility you carry. When chaos threatens, your strength is in your ability to retain confidence. When the conclusion is still uncertain, your strength is in your knowledge, in your capacity to believe before seeing. The cosmos is drawn to that kind of energy. God responds to such unshakable trust. And now that your frequency has increased to meet your objective, acceleration has arrived. You won't have to impose what's right for you anymore. You're attractive simply because you are who you were meant to be. This is not a transient phase. This is a permanent activation. You have passed a boundary beyond which your former self cannot return. You no longer identify with perplexity, dread, or self-doubt. You now belong to clarity, assurance, and heavenly confidence. You'll start witnessing doors open all at once. It felt like it was sealed shut. People who previously neglected, you will suddenly recall your name. Resources that you believed were out of reach will flow to you easily. Why? Because your strength is no longer veiled. It is active. It is alive. And it is working for you. Even if you are doubtful, your power is not. Even if you don't have all the answers, your strength does. It has access to an endless supply of water. Let your strength speak for you. Let it pave the path. Allow it to remind you of who you are, even when the world attempts to forget. You were never here only to survive. You were brought here to work a shift. You were brought here to evolve. You were brought here to reawaken. Keep walking. Keep listening. Continue to trust. The signs will proliferate. The synchronicity will get more intense. People will start asking you how you are, what you're doing, and how you're getting so much favor. Your life seems to be full with magical energy. And when they ask, you'll grin because you already know. It was not luck. Your power had been ignited, aligned, and is now completely released. You're no longer in hiding. You're no longer under spiritual lockdown. The wait is over. The fog is gone. Your lucidity is rising like the morning sun. And every action you take from this point forward will be divinely led, supported, and anointed. The chosen one. Something incredible is taking on behind the scenes now that your ability has been completely ignited. Realms you cannot see are reorganizing for your advantage. Battles you had no idea existed are being fought on your behalf. You are no longer battling alone because your energy now emanates a heavenly, deliberate frequency that causes heaven to react immediately to your alignment. You've become a tool for divine will. You have become a live prophecy in action. And when you speak with meaning and walk with purpose, the spiritual universe takes note. You may have already felt the change. The timing of some occurrences is no longer arbitrary. It is surgical. The individuals that enter your life are no longer distractions. They were divinely allocated. The concepts that come to mind are more than simply thoughts. These are blueprints. You're receiving information from a higher source right now. You are being granted access to what others cannot see because you are prepared. Because your soul has advanced to a point of responsibility where power is no longer a threat. It is a must. This ability brings an increase in heavenly teaching. You'll start to hear things others can't. Things that were previously difficult to grasp will become clearer to you. Your judgments will be quicker, sharper, and more exact. This is because the awakened power is rewiring your internal compass. You'll start to trust your instincts again since they're no longer based on fear. They are directed by heavenly light. You're no longer merely thinking about life. You're feeling your way through it. You are sensing what is in alignment. You know what to unleash. Most importantly, you are learning to trust yourself in ways you never could before. There's a reason your power is engaged right now. The timing is no coincidence. This moment has always been inscribed into your destiny. You were always supposed to awaken at this particular moment. The world is transforming for this precise season and purpose. And you are one of the souls sent to restore equilibrium. Your life, words, and presence. These are the tools heaven is utilizing to affect the collective. You don't need to know the whole strategy yet. You only need to be present in your power and believe that every step you take in truth is a step toward divine fulfillment. This next stage in your life will demand guts. But guess what? You've already got it. The next chapter will need clarification. But guess what? It is downloaded into your soul every day. You are not being asked to go blindly. You are being guided in such a tremendous manner that even your deviations are divinely intended. Nothing is wasted. Not 1 minute. Not a single tear. Not a single pause. Everything you've been through is fuel for your future. Everything you've lost will be replaced with something holy. You're not beginning anew. You're beginning at a higher level. Your desires will begin to shift. What once captivated you no longer holds your interest. What formerly dominated your thoughts no longer controls your energies. This is because your awakened power can only flourish in purity. It only works at its greatest potential when you are free of poisonous attachments and depleted habits. And thus, the divine is assisting you in cleansing. People may drop out. Habits may dissolve. Path may shut. But every loss will be followed by something bigger. Because power must have room to grow and choose one. You are growing in ways that the world is not prepared for. But you are. You're ready. You were picked because you were prepared to go further. You were picked because you refused to give up when circumstances seemed unjust. You were picked because you maintained your individuality even when no one recognized your value. The curtain has lifted. Now the attention is changing. You are now being viewed for your essence rather than your appearance. Your essence is pure strength. It's bold, courageous, and seductive, and people can feel it even before you speak. They feel calmer in your company. They feel motivated by your enthusiasm. They do not know why. However, you do because you have become a carrier of divine frequency. You are no longer merely someone who talks about change. You are the change. You've become the incarnation of the transformative ocean. This is why you will never blend in again. You will not be concealed again. You were never intended to fit. You were always destined to lead. However, don't confuse leadership for loudness. Don't think you need to yell to be noticed. Your presence now exudes a subtle authority that brings even the most chaotic situation to order. You are being granted power in areas where you were previously disregarded. You are being recognized in spiritual realms where your name was formerly forgotten because you are now fully committed to your purpose. And when alignment meets time, miracles are unavoidable. This explains why unusual things are occurring around you. This is why some people are frightened around your energy. Not because you are incorrect, but because your strength threatens what people have been used to. And that's okay. You are not here to be loved by everyone. You are come to awaken those who are prepared. You are here to shift those who are willing. And you're here to step completely into your power. No matter who attempts to block your light, every problem you encounter today will act as a mirror, reflecting how far you've come. Where formerly you would have collapsed, now you're standing tall. Whereas before you would have questioned everything, you can now trust. This is evidence that you've grown. This is proof of your strength. It's not what happens to you, but how you react. And you are answering with knowledge, clarity, and authority. Don't be shocked if others start asking for your guidance, insights, and energy. You have been endowed with spiritual richness, insight, discernment, vision, and tranquility. These are treasures that the world cannot purchase. But your power now transports them in abundance. And the more you walk in truth, the more others around you benefit just from your presence. You've entered a domain where what you think becomes a reality, where what you imagine takes shape, and where what you affirm moves. That is the world of the activated. That's where you currently reside. And from this place, you're going to give birth to something the world has never seen. You're going to say words that will awaken destiny. You're going to stroll into rooms that alter just because you arrived. You no longer need to wait for approval. You have already been authorized. You no longer need to hunt for affirmation. You are the proof. You no longer need to seek recognition. You have been observed by the divine. This is more than enough. The chosen one. Now that your power has been unleashed, you go on a unique adventure. A voyage of attraction rather than chase. Not one of proof, but of embodiment. You are no longer a person attempting to become. Yes, you are. Your very existence has become a statement. And when you move in this new frequency, the energy surrounding you reshapes itself. People can see you're not the same person you were before. More significantly, you can feel it too. You're understanding that the world is no longer responding to your previous identity. It responds to the new vibration you carry. You stroll into areas and without saying anything, change the vibe. Something comes to mind and manifests itself. You let go of what has damaged you in the past, and suddenly blessings begin to pour. That is not magic. That is not luck. This is your activated power in motion. It's heavenly validation that you're following your greater purpose. The energy you radiate right now is magnetic because it comes from your true self, unfiltered, untamed, and unapologetic. However, keep in mind that increased strength brings greater challenges. This is not intended to break you. It's to show the extent of your strength. The cosmos does not use your power to punish you. It challenges your ability to prove it. There will be instances when your patience is tested. Your article has been questioned. Your clarity is blurred. But don't run. Have no doubts. These times are precious. Fire. They purify you. They improve your judgment. They make your intuition undeniable. Every problem provides a chance for you to recall what you now hold. There will be occasions that test whether you will react with your old programming or your new power. Will you respond in fear or go forward in faith? Will you seek vengeance or will you go away with wisdom? Will you panic or will you breathe and let your soul to lead you? These decisions are more important than ever since your awakened self is scripting the next chapter with each one you make. And the more you choose strength over fear, trust over upheaval, and serenity over disorder, the stronger your energy becomes. It multiplies, grows, and begins to build a wholly higher world in which even the unthinkable becomes normal. This isn't a concept. It's an actual experience. You're already seeing the signs, possibilities appearing unexpectedly, dangerous individuals reaching out with offers, thoughts striking your soul like lightning, and your dreams seeming less like fantasies and more like previews of what's ahead. This is how it starts. This is proof that you have tapped into a greater source of creativity. The only thing you need to do now is remain aligned, open, and ready. You see, your power does not yell. It talks clearly. It does not brag. It moves with assurance. That's why people will react to you differently today. They may not know why they are drawn to your presence, but they will sense it. They will detect the frequency of someone who walks with heavenly certainty. Someone who does not need to compete or persuade since their very presence demonstrates they have been selected.